you know, something in my gut told me that this wasn't just going to just be over. I'm going to go ahead and say this. We're now a few days after the fight, Wednesday, May the 24th, 2023. Devin Haney defended his WBC, IBF, WBO, and Ring Magazine 135-pound lightweight undisputed titles against Vasyl Lomachenko. 116-112 by Dave Moretti. And hold on, what was the other two cards again? I don't want to forget. 115-113 twice. Here's the scorecards for those who didn't see it. By David Sutherland and Tim Cheatham. Or as some people may say, Cheatham. Nah, I'm just joking. Me personally, I had Vasyl Lomachenko winning the fight. But here's the thing. I've never been one of those type of people that's going to argue you down about your opinion, especially when it's a fight that has this so much controversy and is so polarizing to where you have large groups of people on both sides thinking that the guy, that their guy won. Now, what I've been noticing is it seems there's a significantly larger amount of people that think that Lomachenko won, which is why there's a lot of controversy. You follow me what I'm saying? I've never been one of them people or one of them boxing fans is like, look at him. How did he win? Look at his face. That's not how you score fights. Lomachenko started early. There were several times throughout the fight I was actually surprised that Lomachenko was walking Devin Haney down. You've seen Devin Haney somewhat buzzed a few times. You've never seen Lomachenko buzz. But see, we're not here about that. My opinion is my opinion. That's my right. If you think that Devin Haney won, I'm like, wow, okay, damn, all right, that's what's up. So Devin Haney's manager or handler, Klimas, is filing appeals to the sanctioning bodies, WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO. Me personally, it don't mean shit, especially when it was a close fight that could have went either way. It could have went for Haney, which it did. It could have went for Lomachenko, which it didn't. It could have been a draw, depending on how you score fights. And also, I'm not a fan of boxing judges, but you do have to understand that boxing judges don't have the same views that we have as well. They are sitting there right there in the ring. They got to be bending and moving. And sometimes if a fighter's back is against them, and they can't see the other fighter, it's a lot of things that they be missing. And I'm no boxing judge apologist here. So I feel like Shakur Stevenson is right, where in fact, let me get that quote for you. Here's what he said to my man, Spencer Farron. Stamina for Sale podcast and YouTube.
I believe that Devin should with Lomachenko. I know Devin he's an avid. I believe that Devin should run this back with Lomachenko. I know Devin he's an avid Floyd Mayweather fan. And I know his father is a fan of Floyd Mayweather's business accumens. I mean, similar to when Floyd fought Castillo, everyone thought Floyd came second best in that, and then Floyd straight away said, "Okay, we'll run it back." He ran it back. Floyd had a close fight with Madonna up at welterweight. Madonna hurt him in that fight, and he thought, "No, cool. We'll just run that back." Don't you think that Devin should run that back with Lomachenko?
I think if it was me, if I was in his shoes, I would for sure run it back. Cause I want the public to judge me off of that fight. I wouldn't want them to think that this dude beat me or it could have been that. Cause that's going to travel with him throughout the rest of his career. Mm-hmm. If Floyd never rematched Castillo, I think it would have traveled with Floyd throughout his career.
And yeah, I agree with that. And if it's not Tank Davis, and let me go ahead and be very honest with you. If Devin Haney had the option to fight Tank Davis over a Lomachenko rematch, I'm going to choose Tank. But if there's no other fight, even moving up to 140, he got to run that back. Now, if you would have asked me a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or hell, even a year ago, I would have been like, yo, I'm picking Devin Haney to beat Lomachenko. As we got closer to the fight and as I was doing more and more research, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, I would pick Devin Haney, but I'm not confident. Like, and I really wasn't confident because Lomachenko, despite his now 3 defeats, he is a special fighter. And I was really impressed with the several rounds, him being the smaller fighter, walking, and at some points, seemingly chasing Devin Haney back. There was times in between rounds that Devin Haney, especially later on, you can tell he knew like he was in the big leagues. And if there's any fight that needs a rematch to settle all doubt, it's this one on a big ESPN platform. You can't tell me that the second fight would be bigger. Now, I already thought to myself that this fight wasn't going to do, 150,000. If you would have asked me, I would have said Haney Loma, 110,000 pay-per-view buys, somewhere around there, between 90 to 110 or something, because both of them never been on pay-per-view. This is one of those fights where it was trending after the fact, after everybody purchased the fight. And then it started getting word of mouth and people started watching highlights because it's trending still, which makes the rematch a bigger fight. Now, if you don't know, the father of Devin Haney, Bill Haney, by the way, we're covering my colleague Big J. It's Big J right there over in Australia. He covered a fight this morning. But let's go look at this right there. Bill Haney got cracked upside his head by the booing fans with a can of Bud Light. That's how you know you in a big ass fight. When they chucking shit at you. Fuck the controversy of it. It's like, yo, you in the big leagues now. Here is what Bill Haney had to say to Christina Poncher about a rematch. And you can tell, like, fight night, maybe things will change up if they get money offered, but you can tell they don't want no smoke with that rematch. And I think from a business standpoint, I can kind of see where they're coming from, but it's a really bad look. And also, it was a close fight. It's not like Haney can't beat him. He can, make some adjustments. And, obviously Loma's going to make some too. But, he can beat him.
When things came to there being a rematch, would you guys honor that?
I don't see where it would have been. It would have been that close to be a rematch. Of course, Devin is the boss. We have to talk to him. He only wants to be involved in big fights. This was a big fight, but it wasn't close.
Go take care of that little nick on your head there. What happened?
Hey, the guy that hit me with the Bud Light bottle, bless you. Bless you. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah.
Congratulations. When things came to
so only time will tell. I'm not thrilled with what Paulie Malignaggi had to say. In fact, let me pull that up. Because it's like, all right, like everything don't have to be like race and all that shit. And it's like, bro, like, what is you doing? Let me see if I can find this clip. Like, what is you doing?
Listen, let's be honest.
He told this to Fight Hype. Told us to Fight Hype.
Let's be frankly honest. Let's go there. Let's go where nobody wants to go. All right. The small percentage of people that still had Haney winning the fight and are happy that Haney got this decision are the ones that are happy the white guy lost. That's it. That's the small percentage of people. And yo, I got one more little tidbit for you. I'll break it to you here. Bob re-signed Haney 2 nights before the fight. Okay?
No way.
2 nights before the fight.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, as we've seen, Haney has denied that, that he's been signed. This is fucking nuts. Real Haney, Devin Haney, is it true you resigned with him 2 days before the fight? He says absolutely not. Then he had this to say about Bob Arum when Bob Arum said this. First, let's start here. Bob Arum said this to Lomachenko after the fight.
No problem.
You won that fight, Elise.
Right here. Hey, Loma.
Sorry, man.
No problem.
You won that fight, Elise.
Right here. Hey, Loma, right here.
You won that fight easy. Yes. Easy.
Hey, yes.
I know.
And this is what Devin Haney had to say about that. And, it's just like, hold on, where was it at? My bad. I'm tripping. It was right here. My bad, y'all. Bob old ass was sleep all fight. I took a look at him between rounds. You think sometime Bill be tweeting some of this shit? I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. But who knows? Maybe this is how Haney's going to make it. He's going to, you know, be the villain going forward. But one thing for sure is, good or bad, his name is buzzing. But for real though, I think they should like do the rematch. Eddie Hearn wants to bring Haney back to re-sign him. Have him fight Regis Prograis at 140. Me personally, I think that Haney's right now, like, he should stay with ESPN. Like, that he's got a big platform now, good or bad. You know, but with Bob saying what he said, you know, I think that certain times promoters should just keep their mouth shut, you know? That's my personal opinion. By the way, he was fined $400,000 for shoving Lomachenko. Jeez. Also, Igor Klimas has appealed. That shit ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. And I don't agree. It was a robbery. The fight could have went anyway. Like, you can't call a close fight a robbery. But you can't argue with people, man. It's wasting your energy and your time. Wasting your energy and your time. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Devin Haney is going to do next. You've been hearing a lot of talk from people interviewing Lomachenko about, like, you know, and even top ranking, well, ESPN media saying, like, why don't he just go back down to 130? Nah, dog. Like, he there now. He been in the mix fighting at 135. And I think he got too much pride to be like, all right, they chased me away from the division. And he can beat these guys. He just don't. Teofimo, you know, especially that last round. Devin Haney. And I understand, you know, he's getting older, but he ain't looking at it. And in this day and age of modern medicine and technology, 35 is not old. Yeah, you're in your twilight, or you're approaching your twilight, but you're not there yet, in my personal opinion. That's still your prime. So, as I said, I want to see Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Tank Davis. Is going to be a lot of political mumbo jumbo with that, but that's the fight to be made. And then Lomachenko too, because it is going to follow him. If he goes up to 140 and says, all right, I'm dropping all my belts, but I want to, you know, well, if he goes up to 140, he'll be the mandatory for Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez. But it'll be like a step down. I don't think that any fight at 140 is going to make the same money, even if it is Regis Prograis. I don't think there's no fight at 140 right now, you know, that can get him the same money or exposure as a rematch with Lomachenko. I mean, maybe, yeah, Ryan Garcia, yeah, okay, all right. But I doubt that that'll happen anytime soon, especially without a belt. With that being said, that Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez fight is a much bigger fight now. Also, it's the next ESPN broadcast. That thing is going to be fire. So we're going to see how this plays out. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So Devin Haney confirmed on social media, like, he didn't sign. He said absolutely not. He didn't re-sign with Top Rank. You know, so, you know, I mean, is he lying about that? Why would he post like no? Like, you know, or are they negotiating a deal? It seemed like throughout the week, especially if you watch the post-fight, the fight week press conference, they were heavily praising ESPN. And I believe in my weigh-in video, I did talk about, like, it looks like he might re-sign back with them. But either way, he's on top of the world. You can only imagine, hold against the water. You can only imagine that PBC is probably trying to throw so much money at him now because he may look vulnerable to them for a Tank Davis fight. And Tank Davis got to get some belts, and they can sell that now. So only time will tell. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We're going to talk about it in a live stream sometime soon. Not sure when, though.